Hello there everybody and welcome back to SOMA. Last time we figured out who it is that we need to get the security cipher from, but we haven't quite figured out the how. So we need to try and investigate Mr. Brandon Wan here to figure out what kinds of things would get him to talk.
If we get to know him, maybe we can make a simulation at least.
We have the right environment, but we need to be able to get a little bit more than that. So in this locker here is a couple of pictures. Again, some of this is important, some of it isn't. The stuff in here really isn't important. Just a couple of pictures. You can go ahead and listen to his data buffer.
Brandon, you ready to go? Strohmeyer says it's time to move.
I'm waiting for Stratsky and Alvaro to pack up their stuff. Head downstairs and I'll meet you there.
Don't take too long.
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
Seems like they were getting ready to leave. Heard some lady telling Brandon to hurry up.
You got that from the intercom? Must be a transmission buffer. Hang on. That's Alice Coster. Wouldn't have guessed they even knew of each other. Interesting.
So that was obviously the evacuation. When we looked at the computer when we first came into Theta, we could see by the crew's black boxes that most of them had relocated downstairs to the tram system, which had Catherine worried. You know, she didn't know why they would have any reason to evacuate. Again, in this locker, nothing really important. If you want to make this quick and easy, the two important things I would say are the data buffer, so we can get the name Alice Coster. And if you look at this picture, this is a picture of Brandon and Alice together. And we can also look at the computer here. So this is his journal from when he left Delta and they came to Theta, which we already kind of knew about from when we were at Delta. Akers said he'd stick around for a while longer, that crazy bastard. I take pride in my work, but goddamn, that place is miserable since the surface stopped sending parts. Well, there is no surface to send parts anymore. Yeah, because I think the Earth was wiped out in January of 2103, so they probably stuck around Delta for quite a while until they realized that there was absolutely no point in doing so. August 25th, I did my ARC scan together with Alice.
Seems like Alice and Brandon did their scans together.
Oh, we can definitely use that. I think we got this, Simon. I can synthesize Alice's voice from the intercom and use it to impersonate her for the simulation. We can trick them into feeling safe enough to open up.
Great. Definitely feeling good about this.
Good job with the intercom. I didn't know you could data mine. What's it like?
It's just something that I do now.
So it comes naturally to you. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I'll make sure to add it to my dating profile.
Alright, Catherine, I'd like to continue reading. Thank you. Did my ARC scan together with Alice. Strohmeyer told me that the hangover would basically kill me. Such an asshole. I was fine at first, but I got a splitting headache a couple of hours later. The biggest pain was that Chun girl. She's so fucking uncomfortable. At all times, it makes my skin crawl. So another clue that Catherine is not the easiest person to talk to, probably, or the most well socialized out of the people here on Pathos 2, I guess is a polite way to put it. October 7th, Strohmeyer went ballistic and shut down all future scans for the ARC project. Apparently Conrad wanted in on the continuity and just fried himself right in the pilot seat after the scan. Something tells me we'll all be getting new security ciphers. And finally, January 15th, so that's quite a skip. Just heard that Komaribi's survey team is going to Delta to pick up Akers. He's been alone for months now. Can't imagine what he's been up to. Yep, well, they basically got sent to their death, which is unfortunate. So the three pieces of information you'll want is the data mining, the photo of him and Alice, and then the August 25th entry here. So with that, we can return and finish our simulation and do it properly.
I compiled an Alice module that we can use.
So she'll be with Brandon in the simulation.
Sort of. I'll still need to do the talking, but it'll sound and look like Alice.
Alright, so in order to get the simulation to work properly, the environment has to be set for the scan room, and you have to have Alice as the module.
That wasn't so bad. Stromae really got me worked up, bastard.
Well, that's what you get for listening to his stories.
I guess I had it coming.
About Stromae. He's sending you to the new site for ASAP. What should I tell him?
It's alright. I can talk to him.
Wait, didn't Sean just tell you to take it easy? Don't worry, I'm not gonna tell anyone.
I do feel hungover. Okay. It's 1729 over 42, 12 over 407. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry, Mr. Long. Brandon. Goodbye.
No, wait.
That's enough. We got what we need.
Is that what we are? Simulations?
Yeah, but it shouldn't make any difference. You're still you. I'm not sure what to do with the data. You decide.
Again, it's the decision that they give you, but it just doesn't matter. No one else after Simon is going to come through this place. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe another robot Simon AI will come through here, but I really highly doubt it. In any case, both Catherine and Simon seemed really distressed to have to run the simulation and kind of do that to Brandon, so to speak. So we might as well erase it. Just to be safe.
Just in case, Brandon.
His scan is still on the Ark, and if we do get the Ark up and running, he's gonna be there, so it's not like it's gonna harm us to, you know, delete that copy of him.
Simon, we got it. We can get to the DUNBAT now. Get back here.
So with that all said and done, let's return and get the hell out of here. That's all there really is for Theta. So if you missed something or you want to explore something a little bit more, make sure that you explore before you leave, because if you haven't already noticed, the game is very linear. Once you leave an area, you usually can't go back to it. You know, like Epsilon, like we're never going to go back there. Alright, Catherine. Let's go.
There you are. Just warming up the DUNBAT for us. It's been collecting dust for months, so it might need a minute. Okay, that's it. That's everything. Let's go ahead and... Huh. That's weird. Huh. Never mind.
What do you need me to do?
Head inside the dock. The Omnitool can open the door now. And get into the DUNBAT. Then plug me in, and I'll take us into the abyss.
Sounds easy enough.
Alrighty, Catherine. Thank you. We'll go ahead and head straight on down to the Ark. We can use the Omnitool on this door here, which should get us into the hangar for the DUNBAT. You can see it hanging up there in the sky. It looks like it's pretty much all ready to go. So in order to get this thing running, what we need to do is pick up this power cord and connect it to this terminal. With the game's physics, it takes a little bit of rigging, but you can get it eventually. And once it's plugged in, we just basically rotate these switches, and it goes through all of the checks needed to get the DUNBAT up and running. You guys didn't actually think it would be that easy. We've played a video game or two before in our lives. It's never that easy. Well, there goes the DUNBAT. So much for that plan. I guess the DUNBAT was taken over by the WoW, and the WoW I don't know if it programmed, like, someone's brain scan into it. You know, like, I don't know if that voice was somebody or if it was just the WoW itself speaking to us. But either way, the WoW doesn't want us to be successful. So we're gonna have to find an alternate method. So now we gotta do a little bit of vent crawling here, and as you drop down into this area, you should get another achievement. Wow, Catherine's gonna be really disappointed. She seemed really set on us boarding the DUNBAT, so hopefully she has another solution, because it's not like they have multiple DUNBATs. That would seem to be the one and only machine that they had that was able to take us down into the abyss. This area is safe, by the way. Nothing's gonna jump out and get us. We just have to slowly crawl. And then we'll come out into this area, which again looks largely untouched. We have a healing spot here if you need it. And it's a laboratory. So it looks like this is probably where the Ark was constructed, because that is the Ark right there. So it looks like it would have been constructed right here. It would have been hooked up, and it's been unhooked, so clearly someone has taken the Ark somewhere. And we can plug Catherine in, and she'll kind of tell us what to do next, but there are a few things that we can look at before we do that, just so I can get my thoughts through without her interrupting me. This whiteboard here is pretty important to actually look at. This is a group photo of Sarah, Nikolai, Catherine, Ian, and Mr. Hill. I can't remember his first name. Jack, maybe? Either way, it's the team of 5 of them, and they were the ones that went to go and deliver the Ark, which is pretty cool. It's also interesting to note that they are the 5 that were listed as missing on Theta's staff roster. So we don't know at this point if they made it or not. I think Catherine mentioned that they didn't launch the Ark, obviously, but we don't know how far they really made it with the Ark. So a few of these are just notes. I think these sticky notes are basically just preparation notes, more or less, about their journey. And it looks like they decided to take the power suits. And they obviously had decided to walk the Ark down by themselves, which Catherine had mentioned. You know, Simon questioned her, well, if the DUNBAT is up here, then how did the crew get all the way down to deliver the Ark? And she wasn't sure, but she said, well, you can walk if you need to. And it looks like this would have been their path, basically. So they would have changed into the suits and rode the climber into the abyss. They would have stopped at Tau on their way there, and then they would have went to Phi, and they would have launched the Ark with the Omega space gun. So it's a pretty simple path. A pretty simple plan. Can we access this? I think we can, yeah. And this is obviously Catherine's notes. I've decided to finalize the Ark with the scans we have. I'm sorry for all of you who wanted to go but didn't get a chance to scan yourself before the project was put on hold. It's been 2 months since I've added a scan, and I don't see how I'll ever be able to win back the support you all showed when we started the project. I'm sorry. I never meant for anyone to take their lives. It was never my intention to fool anyone. I just wanted to save something. So if the scans ended in September, this diary would have been around November of 2103. And then I think this is just her log of what they were doing when they were preparing to take the Ark. That's their plan. And we can actually see that the Ark has made it all the way to Tau, which means that they got like 90% of the way there because they were headed for Phi, obviously, but Tau is pretty far. So, oh boy, that also means that we have to go all the way to Tau. And here on this computer we have another survey that we can do really quick. This is similar to the survey back at Lambda. Recently, it was decided that the ARC project would become Pathos 2's last official commitment. The staff has been urged to carry on with their duties despite Earth's catastrophic condition. I think the ARC project is the most logical step towards saving mankind, and that we should spend as much time and resources as needed to complete it. You know what? I strongly agree, because what the hell else are they gonna do? Literally, they don't really have any reason for living. Honestly, after the Earth was completely wiped out. So yeah, I strongly agree, why not? To embark, every passenger needs to be flushed with electromagnetism using a pilot seat. These scanning sessions are known to cause nausea and headaches, sometimes lasting up to 3 days. I think temporary physical discomfort, no matter how severe, is a small price to save mankind. Well, I mean, as long as it doesn't kill you. And remember, scanning the people never killed them. You know, Catherine never had an issue with someone dying as they were being scanned. It was always someone's decision later on to kill themselves. So I'm going to say that I agree. The Ark is built to fit a probe, meaning it could be shot into space with the Omega space gun, and technically survive for thousands of years living off the light from our sun and distant stars. I think the Ark should leave Earth behind and be launched into space. Again, I strongly agree. The digitalization of humanity is an opportunity to make a quantum leap in our own evolution. The people inside the Ark will out of necessity be generated from existing genetic code, but could be altered to allow for cosmetic changes, ease aging, and even prevent death. I think we are at risk of losing our humanity if we were to rid ourselves of disease and our immortality. I don't really know how I feel about that, to be honest, because obviously death is a part of living, but when you're on the Ark, you're not really living. It's more like a simulation that is so close to real life that you feel like you're living, or your consciousness is put, you know, into a scan. So, hard question to answer. I'll say I disagree. I think there are plenty of other things that make you human aside from, you know, dying horribly. And I think this is the last question. There are only 58 people left alive to be stored inside the Ark. A way to diversify and expand the population would be to introduce artificial intelligences that would in every way appear to be human, but with childlike and naive sensibilities. As we continue to explore the nature of intelligence, we may find a way to make them smarter in the future. I think an inferior group of artificial people would benefit our society. I mean, I also don't know if that 58 people, I don't know if she means there are 58 people left alive on Earth, like Pathos 2 has 58 people total, that's like the total of mankind, or if there were 58 people left to scan after she had already done the scans. But either way, 50 people is not a lot. I think it would benefit people, you know, have them diversify, have more things to interact with, make it feel more real. So there you go. You can see that for the most part, everybody on the Ark seemed pretty okay with the idea. Like 76% of people who took the poll wanted the Ark to succeed. They wanted it to be launched into the sun. Half and half split on whether or not aging makes you less human. And then you can see that we have some other options. So for the most part, I think we kind of did the most agreeable option. I think our options were pretty similar to what the people of Pathos 2 thought, so that's kind of cool. Alright. Not much left to do in this room. I promise we're going to do more story in the next video, but I don't want these to go on for too long, especially since there's a lot of, you know, just examining things and not a lot of moving. So we're going to plug Catherine in next time. We're going to have a chat with her, and we're going to move on from here. So thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.